it's Mint Julep Day.
Woo!
Here at 50 Shades of Green. Yeah, blackberry mint julep.
We're so southern.
Cheers. We needed a drink after having all these.
So many submissions.
Many submissions.
We had over 200 submissions.
Yeah.
In less than a week, you guys gave us
a lot of pictures, a lot of portfolios to go through.
Surprisingly, of that 200, there was a lot of effort in that 200.
Really?
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Bravo to our entrants and your effort. You efforted.
Yes.
All the effort.
We noticed a lot of repeated themes in the things we got, so we divided them into categories of ones that were similar to each other, and we're going to show you. We're going to just blow through them here. We have 20 finalists of the over 200 we received.
So we're going to put their names at the bottom of the screen, sort of, and if you see one that you like, note it in the comments, and...
Because you are helping us choose our winner.
In our first category, in honor of our mint juleps of Southern origin, we have our Fitzgerald category, or The Eyes Are Watching You. The eyes that stare into your soul and say, read me, precious, read me.
I also like that the tentacles are not too overtly tentacly.
They're a little kelpish.
Yeah.
Flower petals. This is another, by the same artist, a different concept on her theme, where we have the tentacles coming around the eyes.
So keeping with our eye theme, this one's kind of a combination of eye and girl going places. Well, I guess it kind of works because it really captures that whole stalkery vibe that we were going for. I think the ladies really like that.
I also like that the A comes down into a little tentacle.
So now we're starting into our second trend, which is girl falling.
Here was a sort of dynamic image that we did enjoy, except for the slingshot-like apparatus around her. That would be something that we would ask the finalists to sort of nix to figure out a way around it.
It's like the stork just arrived.
There was also two variations of this, one the tentacles coming down to sort of rescue her, one the tentacles reaching up to grab her. I think we went for the tentacles going up.
Yeah, we actually kind of had a fight about this.
I like the tentacles coming down.
We didn't talk for like 2 days after that fight.
I know. I felt so alone.
I still have the wounds. And then next we have, this is a very fish's eye view of, you can see the tentacles coming up, and she's about to fall into his.
Yeah, she's
squirmy
like kind of
grass.
chilling at the top of the lake or something. So then there's this guy. This one kind of fell in more with the shadow box theme. And, well, I do like the kind of shadow box and the colors. I feel like there's a lot of dead space here, which maybe this should go here or something like that.
So here was another one that we felt was a very dynamic image. There seemed to be a lot of motion going on. The tentacle, not tentacle, reaching out and grabbing her. Another trend we found in the entries was the mope.
Yeah, which is a very apt.
Yeah, no, definitely very fitting. Like, for example, this, which we also have the no eyes motif that I find is popular in young adult. This is actually quite beautiful and just a graphic design detail. It's very comic booky though too.
Mm-hmm. So this example of the mope is quite lovely. I love the art, and the more graphic like woodblock print of tentacles coming out here over the very soft art is a nice contrast, and you've got your moping girl, which is your classic YA cover.
This artist gave us 3 submissions, and we really liked all 3 of them. And I think it's particularly the fact that it's so sketchy, but you got such a good idea of what it was. I felt like this was a good idea of the mope. She's wearing her ball gown, surrounded by the tentacles. I presume she has a mopey face here.
This is a bit of a mope going on.
It's a little mopey.
Little mope, but it's got a really clean lines to it. Again, a very almost comic graphic design going on here.
I feel like that one captures the whole, like, I am the special snowflake of destiny.
The only thing we'd probably, like, with this one, it's like the really obvious but simplified Cthulhu in the background might be a little too on the nose.
And we have another mope. This one, it's the solitary tentacle that comes down and caresses her, and you could tell there's love in this caress. He's not strangling her.
Here's another good mope. I like this mope, but it's also sort of like a hopeful mope because she's like, you're beautiful.
This one I kind of really enjoy, and here you see we have what the full book spread would look like with the background, the synopsis here, synopsis here, synopsis here, synopsis here.
Cthulhu, Riley, Wagon, Fatagan, synopsis here.
Obviously a drawn image, but with the eyes hidden as they are, I think it works really well. It feels like this, I almost feel, is the Mope in the Beautiful Creatures category.
Yeah.
Like it feels very young adult paranormal romance to me.
And here's our last mope. We put this in the finalists mainly just because it was so well done and it was so mopey. I guess it doesn't have a whole lot to do with what actually happens in the book. And I really like her mopey expression, and obviously the artist is very, very, very good at capturing a more realistic look, like a more photographic kind of art. We had a lot of hands. We ended up really only picking one of them as our finalist, and honestly, this is kind of my number one right now. Again, it's from that same artist, Ariel Johnson from earlier. That again was just like a really sketchy mock-up, but you get such a good idea of what it is, and it was just such an expressive hand, and those tentacles are just, they want her, and they don't know how to ask.
The next trope that we did was the girl going places, which you see a lot on YA covers. So this one's very dark and moody, and you can't really see it from here, but there's hints of tentacle in the background. There's actually a hint of maybe Cthulhu himself back there, but it's so subtle that I think you could actually get away with it. And it's green, but it looks black.
This one did the nice sort of little shadow boxy modern graphic design thing, and have a little ocean thing. Only problem is the fact that she's naked. Usually they wear ball gowns.
Yeah, but you could draw a ball gown on her, artist, so
Yeah.
you know, that would be a change we'd ask for. And then
Yeah.
Here's a very different style example of something that was very silhouette and very sparse, but still very much something that you'd see right now. Whereas, is this a tree? Is it fire? Is it tentacles? I don't know, but it makes me want to read to find out, and she sure looks like she's going somewhere.
This was my favorite of the girl going places one, mainly because first off, you have the framing of the dark color, and also they're not quite tentacles, but they are reaching into it. It looks a little Eldritch-horror-y without being disgusting like I think Sarah would think it was.
We had some that like don't work at all, but like we still really love, so we're gonna show them as our honorable mentions.
So these ones are kind of small, so I'm gonna bring it kind of close. And I really liked all three of them, especially the middle one with the hand reaching out and grasping a tentacle. And we actually got a lot of those.
For me, this one was one of my favorites that unfortunately it just won't work, but this is something in a cover that like, man, if I was in like high school and middle school, I would have picked this book up so fast.
If this had happened in 1993,
yeah,
and
it's
Avi had written it.
To me, like this, yeah, exactly. This is very Avi. To me, this is like someone creating this character based on descriptions in the book.
Obviously, this one.
I love that one.
Mel and we thought this one was great. Like, Awoken, or How I Learned to Cope with Seeing Forever. And this one was just like such a perfect like of the sort of like kitschy YA contemporary, the book equivalent of like indie romance.
It would be a quirky romance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It felt like a sort of early John Green book kind of thing. That didn't have anything to do with cancer. The problem with this one was it looked more like a sort of graphic novel cover, and more like an illustration than like what you would see in a traditional YA, but it was very pretty.
I like how the ribbons turn into tentacles. And this one, again, a little bit too manga cover or graphic novel, but I like that it's very abstract with the swirling, like, is that a wave or is it a tentacle? I can't tell, and it comes around and then she's drowning, but
And also
not. The title fits into the curve of the wave/tentacle.
This one I really enjoyed. I didn't really enjoy the silhouette of the girl. Also, though, what I absolutely adore of all things is the tentacles come into a heart shape in the middle. But it's like he's rising from the deep, and it's like, hey girl.
Of the 200 plus, we got a little bit less than 10%. Which honestly, you know, we're surprised that we got that many, because like we expected quite a bit for the writing portion, because you know,
Writing's easy.
not to belittle our precious snowflake writers out there, you're all You're all geniuses.
And to pull this off in less than a week, we gave our writing samples a lot more time than that.
Yeah.
So what you are going to do now, what we need from you, is to tell us in the comments which artist you like best. And you saw all their names at the bottom of the video. Go back and watch again if you have to. And just leave.
Yes, go back and watch again.
Watch this video like 18 times.
Watch it if you must. Again, just make sure you refresh the page.
Little
and then
status.
watch it again.
Oh, of course.
And the honorable mentions, though we think they're awesome, they don't count, so don't vote for them.
So-
The Little Miss Sunshine one is not gonna happen. I'm sorry. I love it. It's
I think
not
it.
gonna
No, it could
happen.
happen in like an ultra special edition. Maybe one day if we go to a con, she's just like he's
also
my
kind of-
first boyfriend.
I know. And also, he's got like, it almost feels like he's got a hoodie on.
Yeah, he does.
This photo was taped together. It's like she took a photo of him and taped it to a photo of herself because she loves him that much, or maybe he did it because he hearts her that much. And the photo's in the shape of a heart.
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be our first high school AU, which would be kind of ironic.
Because they're already in high school.
But yes.
Junior high AU.
So what we're gonna do right now is ask you to please leave your favorites, comments, suggestions, and we're still open to a tagline in the comments. And please do so ASAP, because by the next time we are speaking to you by way of our technology cameras, we will have a final decision and a mock-up and a tagline and everything, and then you will just have to just be amazed. Please give us all of your feedback and congratulations and support to these artists who did such a good job.
Yeah.
And did all of the effort way above and beyond the Call of Duty.
Yes.
And if you did a piece, feel free to share it. There's no secrecy here. It's not like you can't.
You
put
own
on
the
your,
copyright.
It's put on your DA, put it on your Tumblr, do whatever you want with it. It's your art.
I have a feeling like our wall is going to be a lot more crowded.
Yeah, we're
next
gonna
week.
have to pull these cameras back. So
Yeah.
all 200 plus entries.